my name's Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds. Welcome back to the latest video. This video, as always, is sponsored by Shop GNO, the Job Match Group, and Match Bingo. Let's get into it. First up, the Job Match Group. Whether you're looking for your next big gig or just browsing, the Job Match Group has niche job sites made just for you. F1, retail, security, and loads more. They're about matching the right person to the right job. Make sure you check them out if you're ready to level up your career. Then we've got Shop GNO, an exciting new e-commerce site where you can grab exclusive deals and discounts. Right now, One Leeds has an affiliate link just below where you can score a 25 quid membership for free, unlocking special rates and benefits. You can even list your own shop on there with way better rates than Amazon, eBay, and Vinted. They've got some Leeds bits and some general bits now and launching soon, plus some great prizes just for signing up. This is all powered by a massive Leeds United fan looking to make waves in the online shopping world. So check them out and support your local. And don't forget our mates at Match Bingo. They're smashing it with footy fun. You can get 5 bingo cards for the price of 4 through One Leeds, and you can even deposit just $5 at a time to join the action. It's a big chance to win whilst having a blast with your fellow Leeds United friends. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Check the links in the description, and let's get on with the video. Well, hello there, everybody, my fine One Leaders. What's going on in your world? My name is Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds, and this is the Rumour Mill. Shout out to all of you who are listening and watching and doing all that sort of good stuff with the Rumour Wrap, and you're getting involved in that sort of stuff as well. Everybody, massively appreciate it. It's been going down a treat, actually. The Rumour Wrap a little bit later on. It's just a little bit of a concise, condensed version of the rumours if you cannot join the mill on a morning. Okay, so what's going on in your world, everybody? Do us a favor, slap a like on the video. I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of you. I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of you for hitting 45k. It's a good number, isn't it? Like, it's a really nice number. I don't know why it's aesthetically pleasing to see that. Just 45k. It just hits better than 44 and 42. Do you know what I mean? It might hit better than 46. But 47 is a nice number, isn't it? Just aesthetically, I don't know what it is. Something up there with me. But we are pushing on 246. Please don't now not subscribe. So thank you. I'd also like to say a big thank you to a lot of you in here who subscribe to the second channel. We're steaming on to 5,200 subscribers now with the latest video on like 8-point-something K, which is amazing for a new channel. So thank you so much. Thanks for your engagement over there, everybody. If you want some bonus bits and bonus football and you like your general stuff, head on over there. Listen, I'm gonna also talk about a Patreon. We've got a fantastic group of people on the WhatsApp group, on the Patreon as well. We've got stuff over there, podcast-wise. Check that out. Link in the description below. Everybody, check out our sponsors as well. And hello. What's going on? You can see all of you in here as well. Morning, Connor. Hello. Whoa, we all aren't One Leeds. Good morning, Scott. I see you in here every morning, though, mate. It's great to see you in here. Doesn't always have to be Leeds fans. Paixao is a beast, Connor. He's indeed, mate. Loving the new intro, Connor. Yes, Jace. These lives are like a routine now. Morning, Con. That's what. Look, I love you all. This is great. Kelly's here as well. Look at this. So I've got a little bit later, so I apologize. I really apologize for that. It's yeah, it was. My brother was staying in here last night, and this is like our second room, so I've had to move everything out. And you know, when I'm moving that Rafinha thing out, it's going with absolute care. Do you know what I mean? I'm having to move mattresses out. I'm having to get everything out. It took a while, so apologies. I'm about half an hour late here. Love you too, Harvey. Morning, Connor. Morning, mate. Can't believe you made me wait till past 10 today. I had to listen to music at work instead. Sorry, mate. I apologize. Matt Leeds, how you, mate? How's it going, buddy? Good to see you in here. Amanda, good morning from Ireland. I haven't caught a live in a while. It kind of hits different people, doesn't it? David Fox is in here as well. Kobe's here as well. It hits different people at different times, doesn't it? Honestly, 10 o'clock and half 10 can make a big difference. So shout out to you. Shout out to the Yerba Mate. And let's get into your today's news. Shout out to Daz as well. Go subscribe to Only Leeds Bros if you can, everybody. Let's get into the boy, Igor Paixao. Right, okay, so on the wrap, we spoke yesterday a little bit about the fantastic Igor Paixao and where Leeds are at with him. Napoli entered the race. And I'm going to tell you why it's a slight problem. Napoli, obviously flying in Serie A, qualified, of course, for the Champions League. McTominay. They've also got Gilmour out there. They're flying Lukaku, and they have entered the race for our man Paixao. And this is where it becomes slightly problematic. But the bonus that Leeds maybe have when it comes to Igor Paixao is the fact that he's spoken about Rafinha before. He's spoken about how much he effectively loves him as a Brazilian player. Obviously, they are from the same country, play very, very similarly as well. And he's mentioned Rafinha before. I've just got a little thing about me. It's like, Igor, do you want to just have a look at his career? And obviously, Sinistera as well, just maybe have a look at his career, what he did from Feyenoord, where he went. And, I do think that has a little bit of weight. Maybe I'm a little bit deluded there. Maybe I've just got my Leeds tinted glasses on. But I do think hopefully that's got a little bit of weight, as well as selling the club that is the massive, great, fantastic Leeds United, the gargantuan Leeds United. And hopefully we're able to get something done there when it comes to this guy, because I keep mentioning it. It would be the signing of the window. And he said as well about Napoli that, I will quote verbatim here what he said, what his agent has come out and said. He said that Igor is very happy at Feyenoord, but a big offer will be analysed, which is just like, it's like, yeah, but I'll twerk. Do you know what I mean? I'll twerk for you. I'll twerk for a big club. I will twerk. I'm not saying Feyenoord aren't a big club. However, there are bigger clubs out there. But the one club he has commented on very recently, with them now entering the race, is Napoli. He's not commented on any of the other clubs, but he has said, I'm flattered when it comes to Napoli, big club with lots of history. No, Igor, that is not what we're doing today. So, yeah, look, obviously no actual offer has been made. It's just been inquiries, and that's for a lot of these as well, everybody, in the fantastic rumour book. But yeah, something to keep an eye on when it comes to Igor Paixao. If he comes in, that left winger spot, I think, is absolutely diced up. It's done, it's sealed, it's signed. However, interestingly, yesterday, Solomon came back from international duty early. Does that mean that he's maybe in negotiations with Leeds United? We've spoken before. Joe Donahue did a little bit of an article the other day saying that Leeds won't be able to sign players until the first. That's great. Fine, okay, no problem with that. That doesn't mean Leeds behind the scenes can't be doing absolutely everything to get these signatures sorted and for it to be signed, sealed, delivered by the 1st of July. Absolutely fine. But Leeds will have agreements in place, or they can have agreements in place behind the scenes. Okay, let's get a few comments in the section below. Connor, do you think Leeds make a sign-in today, mate? I have. I don't think so. Oh, they could do, mate. I've absolutely no idea. I've absolutely no idea, pal. And that's not me just taking away from it. I'm not an ITK, mate. I just love talking with the community and you guys about bits and bats, and this is one of these bits and one of these bats. Morning, Connor. Watched you for 2 years, but never commented. Keep up the good work, mate. Shout out to you, Zach Hill. What a top man. Thank you, buddy. Hi, Connor. How come you're not playing in the Leeds Content Creator Cup? Hi, Andrew. I've had a few comments about this, mate. I've had a few Instagrams as well. I'm knackered, mate. I did my ankle probably around about 3 months ago. I was in hospital, snapped my ankle, and it's not recovered properly. And I'm trying to get back in so it doesn't grow back in the wrong way. So, yeah, mate, I would love to have played. I've not played five-a-side in 3 months now, and I just can't. I try. I keep trying and going on runs on it. It's just not working, mate. My ankle is just very unsteady. So, yeah. Morning, Connor. What's the first signing through the door then? I'll tell you what, Dino, I'm going to get into that a little bit later on now. Blinky saying Conte staying is big as well, mate. It is big as well. Morning, Jim. Hi, everybody. What's going on? Okay, let's get into the next rumour on the mill, shall we? Cristantus Uche. Now, we've mentioned Uche several times, and actually Africa Foot has come out and not only spoke about Uche, but we're going to get into a different player who Africa Foot have spoken about yesterday. But it's not only Africa Foot who've mentioned this now, it's actually Marca, obviously a very, very good and quite consistent and reliable publication in Spain. They've mentioned today that Leeds' top agenda is Cristantus Uche at Getafe. The striker, Leeds are willing to pay 20 million euros for him. His release clause is 25 million euros. Can you just increase that price a little bit, Leeds? But apparently the big issue now is we've got another club who's joined the race. And this is what's going to happen, everybody, when it comes to transfer. We're going to get club. Sound like Rafa Benitez there. But you are going to get more clubs after the better players. Scouting networks now, especially in Europe, never mind across the world, are top tier, especially when it comes to Premier League. You're going to get the lower end Premier League sides with the greatest respect, like Wolves, Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham United, Brentford, They're all going to have top systems where they're going to be going into the market with their data approach and analyze top three players in their required positions. Where do Brentford now need a striker? Why do they now need a striker? Brian Mbeumo looks to have signed, sealed, delivered at the dark side of Manchester. So, yeah, Cristandus Uche looks like once again, where I see this as a massive positive, a huge positive for Leeds United is we're in the conversation now. The likes of Igor Paixao, Brighton, Brentford, Cristandus Uche, Brentford. You know, we've got a fair few links here, which obviously could be peddled by agents. I'm not daft. They could be peddled by agents. It could be to peddle up the interest in the article. We can talk about Brentford and Brighton being attractive propositions. What they aren't is a bigger club than Leeds United. So Leeds get clicks. So we have to take all of these with a pinch of salt. The reason we do these shows a lot of the time is the 3Ds: discourse, discussion, and debate, as well as talking about the rumors on the Rap and the Mill. But the positive thing is here, there's sort of two publications confirming the fact that Leeds United are in here. Africa Foot, which is normally a decent publication out there, and Marca as well, which is probably the most trusted in Spain. So 25 million release clause. That is the striker department for this video, but there is a little bit of competition there as well, which is interesting. Heroic Dale says, great name, mate. I saw a tweet last night in French claiming that Marseille were pulling out of the race because they are not willing to pay 40 million euros. I think when you're talking about Paixão, mate, there's a lot to that. There is a lot to that. I think that if it turns into a bidding war, you do wonder how far clubs like Napoli and Marseille are going to go in comparison to Brighton and Leeds. Why? We all know why. We all know why. We all know what division is the most lucrative, what we can even offer. It was crazy, guys, when we were last in the Premier League and you're effectively having AC Milan. And obviously, it's different times, different circumstances, different economic, environments, but you are getting some of the biggest clubs in the world, and that still stands today, pulling out of transfers because they can't afford it. And you normally now get the Premier League clubs spending the big bucks, and outbidding some of the biggest clubs in the world historically. It hits us in the chest when it comes to nostalgia. It's like, no, they have to be able to afford it. They're some of the best clubs in the world, but when it comes to Leeds United, I don't care. I'm not bothered. Paixão, Uncle Tony Pony. Hey, mate, you are a mod in this chat, aren't you? Paixão is faster than Solomon. We want to rapid, terrifying wingers for the fast break on the counter. Completely agree with that. Dean says Solomon's girlfriend's looking in-house in Skipwith, presumably, mate. Skipwith area, yeah. Connor, only problems with getting older. Yeah, fair enough. Are we going to do a massive unveiling of new signings like Spurs did a couple of years ago? That'd be nice, wouldn't it, pal? Love's in the building. Hey, Love. Are we okay to sell before the first or willing to, waiting to sell as well? I think we're waiting, mate, because it's basically the end of the accounts, isn't it? The profile of these strikers we've been linked with, all very similar and all exactly what we need. These are solid links. Morning, lads. IMW. Yes. Would you be happy with Uche? Do you know what, Arains? I can't profess to have watched him week in, week out. The attributes. From the Hetafe side, he's very, very highly rated. Not had too many amazing standout seasons. Obviously, the last one was very good, but this is kind of where you've got to pick up on players like this, because if they then have 2, 3, 4 seasons, or obviously just 2 or 3 normally, then a lot of clubs start coming in. If you can get them just on the down low, and you can bring in these players under the radar, that's exactly what you need. But Leeds are going to have to do this. We're going to have to do this when it comes to going for certain individuals that maybe aren't ticking every single box. They're not going to be Premier League vets. They're not going to be all the time unbelievable scorers in their respected league. It's not always going to be about that, because I've mentioned this previously when it's come to like goalkeepers, and I've mentioned, some of the top keepers that we've mentioned on here as being like the ones that I will be looking at. Kelleher for the price was a bit annoying towards the end, but yeah, he wasn't someone who screamed out to me. We're going to get into one in a little bit who's very exciting, actually, who Leeds have been heavily linked with this morning. But the likes of Finn Darman, that's an unbelievable signing. That would be an outrageous signing. Petrovic, I like as well, the Chelsea edition. There are goalkeepers out there that you can get for a really good fee, and I think that's kind of what we're looking at right now. When it comes to getting players for good fees, and that's kind of what you've got to do with the likes of Nico Elvedi. You've got to do it with Uche. You've got to do it with these players who maybe aren't sort of taking, lighting up world football at this moment in time. But you've got to take a punt. You've got to take a punt. You've got to take the risk, and is the risk worth the reward? Let's go on to the next bit, everybody. This is quite an interesting one. So I'm gonna let this one marinate. I'm going to let this one marinate, and I want to get loads of your thoughts in the comment section below. Guys, we've got nearly 800 of you in here this fine morning. If you do me a favor, slap a like on the video. How many have we got so far? It just really helps the ranking of the video as well. We have 266. I'd really appreciate it if all you guys could just slap a like on the video. That'd be amazing. So I'm going to let that one marinate a little bit, like I've let my yerba marinate. And it's an interesting one. Let me just tell you some of the stuff behind Joe Gomez. So Joe Gomez, we've always known him as, I think, absolutely solid. I believe he started out at Charlton, and then Liverpool got him from them there really early on. And that might be wrong though, but I believe he started at Charlton. Yeah, always absolutely solid. Has played midfield, right back, left back, central defense on both sides. Has partnered Virgil van Dijk. Has partnered Canate. I like Gomez a lot. I think physically, I think he's perfect for the Premier League. Once again, and is this the big issue with teams like Leeds going for players and recruiting players? We've got to be careful when it comes to injuries, but is that always going to be the problem? Is that always going to be the scope? Because these players who are available, who are maybe leaving clubs, have had a bit of a cast off when it comes to form, or a lot of them, as we've mentioned in the last couple of days, when it comes to the mill, have been injury laden a little bit. Joe Gomez as a profile, I like him. I mean, he's strong in the tackle, very good in individual duels for his height. He's excellent in the air. He's won Champions Leagues, which I think means a hell of a lot. I think he's a good passer out from the back as well. I think he's good in build up. I think he can vary his play as a centre back. Gomez, I think, is a good he's a good signing. Liverpool want 25.3 million quid for him, near on 30 million euros. Leeds have been said on Sky Sports to be effectively attacking our spine when it comes to the goalkeeper, the defender, central midfielder, and striker. He kind of fits, I guess, that 30 million bracket. It's just the injuries, isn't it? It's just the injuries. Now, if we just type in, I wonder how many games he's missed in his career. I wonder if Google can tell me that. How many games has Joe Gomez missed in his career? So I'll just have a quick look at transfer marks and see what they've said. So this season with a hamstring, he's missed 17 games. Last season, 12 games. In fact, no, this season he's missed 28 games this season. He's been injured for over 120 days. To be fair, you always get a focus with Joe Gomez that he's been out for a mad period of time, but he was out in 2020 for a large period of time, 232 days. But from 2021 to 2024, he was actually okay. He didn't miss too many football games, but I mean, he still missed 15 games in those 3 years. But this season, my goodness, it's been the worst of his career, I think. Actually, no, he had a cruciate injury in 15. So yeah, there's been a lot of injuries there. I wanna get your guys' thoughts. As I say, I like him. I just wonder when you've got like Jacobijo, when you've got Leonardo Bellardi, when you've got players of this ilk, even like Nico Elvedi, players like this who are regularly available, who are playing at a top level. Can you touch Joe Gomez with nearly missing 28 games through injury? Already got an assist for Leeds. Who's this, mate? Is this Tanaka? Connor, why are Leeds United going after yet another wide player in Paixao? When they have it stacked within the squad. I think it's on that left, mate. I think on the left hand side, and it's a market opportunity because he's got potential to be world class. Nope to Gomez says Dino, good for experience, but he just doesn't do it for me. Injuries and potentially not at the level as of yet. Can see him playing for a more established club. Hey, Danny's in here as well. Connor, who was that defender from Forest we were apparently linked with? Think he signed a new deal. I don't know, mate. Murillo or Milenkovic, but I don't think we were linked with him, mate. He's 15 million tops, way too overpriced. Gomez be decent, but I feel that as bet. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, mate, to be honest with you. Nakata says he's a no-go. Hey, Dave. Dave just arrived. Total injury related absences, 240. Yeah, hey, Wilco. It's the versatility, isn't it? But for 30 million euros or 25 million quid, it's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot. Heck of a lot. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Interesting though. You guys pausing for thought there. That wasn't a purposeful sigh, by the way. Let's move on to Illan Meslier. Okay, so the wonderful Graham Bailey is mentioning today, excuse me, today that Mellier's exit is not guaranteed. Graham has said Leeds are actively trying to offload him to other clubs, which is smart. But there's no guarantee that he'll leave. And I think Graham's right when he said this. I've been flagged this report a couple of times by people this morning, and said that do we have a PSR issue? Like Graham's not suggesting as such, but he said, it'll look poor on the books if Leeds were to make a loss on him. I don't know if Graham knows that we bought him in for 5 million quid, and therefore, I mean, I think Leeds are going to make 5 million quid on him. And even if you don't make 5 million quid on him, even if you sell him for 2 or 3 million quid, it's not going to look horrific on the books. So Graham mentioned that, but I'm not sure he's aware how much Illan Meslier actually came in for. And it opens up a wider question here when you come to the value of the guy. How much are Leeds going to get for him? We've seen Flecken going for 11 million quid to buy Leverkusen. We've seen Kelleher go to Brentford for 12.5. I was saying that I thought scouting wise, we might be okay with this guy. I thought maybe 10 plus million for Illan Meslier. I thought, and look, you guys were like, Connor, you're deluded. But I just thought that you'd be able to get a really good market value for him. Bearing in mind, Marseille were in for him and were reported to be willing to pay for him in the summer around about 15 million quid, but Leeds priced them out of it. Oh, God. Because they wanted to keep hold of him. Fark wanted to keep hold of him. The 49ers wanted to keep hold of him. But Marseille were willing to pay said amount, and yeah, Leeds weren't willing to negotiate on that. So is his stock a little bit higher because he's played for Leeds in the Championship? There's a conversation there, but Leeds gonna have to do probably wonders this season to be able to get him off the books for a very decent value. Like I'd make profit on him. I think so now. I do think so, but it's domino effect, isn't it? It's a goalkeeper might leave for said club, and they might think, right, we need to go and get a goalkeeper that plays out from the back. I always see him going back to Ligue 1. Could there be a little exchange deal with who we're about to speak about in a little bit? Genuinely, potentially. So yeah, but I think as Graham Bailey said there, I think it's not going to be a notable PSR loss when it comes to Illan Meslier, but I think Leeds will get a fee for him, and I think he will be moved on in this window. Hello, Connor, mate. As long as we don't offer Mez a 4-year deal. Yes, Snoopy, how you doing, mate? Hopefully nobody watching then. Yeah, exactly. How much do you think we can spend this window? I think it's probably going to be around 150 million, mate. Someone has to buy him though, says T-Man. I think they will. Millwall's Tanganga link yesterday. Yeah, I saw a little bit on that. Morning, Wayne. How's it going, mate? He's going to be with us forever, isn't it? It's the Johnny to stop line. That was purposeful. Morning, Sea Dog. Can we ask Gomez to bring his mate Elliot with him? Yeah, it's not a bad shout, that, mate. It's not a bad shout. He suits Wrexham, right? Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Michael says, will you be watching the World Cup qualifier between Australia and Japan around midday today to look at Tanaka midfield teammate Merita of Sporting Lisbon, who Leeds are looking to recruit? Joe, it's going to be interesting, Michael, if he's partnering Tanaka. We spoke about Merita yesterday and Leeds inquiring about him and Sporting wanting to get rid of him as well. Or sorry, Sporting wanting to keep hold of him, but Merita wanting to leave. I think his contract expires in around about a month as well. He's obviously Tanaka's partner, and normally we've spoke about the physicality on this channel. We've spoke about the athleticism in physically demanding games, or when it comes to stature, when it comes to ball being in the air, assaults, when it comes to not actually playing the ball on the ground. Merita is partnered with with Tanaka. We've seen Endo in there as well, but for the physically combative games, sometimes they've actually used Merita to partner Tanaka in a 2 as well, just in front of that defense, which is quite interesting. 3 players are all back in training. Meslier, Gray, Joseph Meslier will be the number 2 next year. Yeah, exactly, Donny. I feel like he has thrown it a little bit off key, hasn't he, when it comes to Kelleher? Okay. Tranquillo, 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 calma, calma, calma. Do not get excited. Do not get excited. Okay. Finn Dharma. David Soria. Targets that we've spoken about on the channel. Safe hands, good numbers, good save percentage, good across the board. Players of which I would have gone probably for 1 or 2 in terms of availability and look if we can go and get that and really press the action. Yahia Fofana. Now, are you here for Fofana? I am here for it. Now, there are 4 clubs interested. Leeds United have apparently entered the race according to Africa Foot this morning, which is highly exciting. Now, Yahia Fofana is a player of which I didn't even comment on at the beginning of the season because I thought there's just absolutely there's no way Leeds could effectively be involved with this guy whatsoever. He's too high profile, that there's absolutely no way that happens. According to Africa Foot this morning, Leeds are now in the race for Yahia Fofana from Oranges. And the reason behind that is because we have moved on, obviously, from Kelleher, according to the report, and we have now got him as one of our higher priorities. So, yeah. I don't want to get too excited on this one. Listen, guys, if you're not aware of who he is, he's only 24 years of age. He was touted around last year as being like a very, very good goalkeeper who, that's kind of where I first heard about him. So I've not known about him for that long, but that's where I first heard the name at least. Ridiculous save percentage this year as being described as unstoppable by French media this year as well. Very good when it comes to goals prevented. Was doing a little bit of a deep dive on him earlier on. He's prevented 11 goals this season, which when we've been talking about Illan Meslier being in the minus bracket for that for the best part of 2 seasons, this will be quite staggering in terms of an upgrade. Yeah, as I say, a lot of very, very exciting rumors around him. Very, very exciting rumors around him when it comes to if Leeds are going to be involved in this. If we can push the boat out and get this signing, there is an argument, and I may concede that it could be a better signing than Finn Dharma. A better signing, and I'm hanging my hat on this guy. So, yeah, so Leeds are apparently in the race now, as I say, according to Africa Foot this morning. Fofana, what a signing that would be, Lord. I'll go pick Fofana up myself if we can bet him. As I say, apparently they're looking for around about 15 million as well, which for a top keeper at that age, it's a good age, Soccer AM. But it's a very, very good age. 24. I mean, it is a goalkeeper. You can play till you're 37, can't you? Realistically, if you're good enough. But if you get him 15 million, the selling value is going to be massive. It's going to be absolutely massive on him. So yeah, that would be a statement of intent. Him coming in, Paixao coming in would just be outrageous signings. Just outrageous signings. So 6 darts. Danny says who we're not in the race for. Exactly, mate. 100%. It feels like we are with everyone. And Marito and Tanaka didn't get called up to Japan for the games this international. Shout out to you, Leaky. Thanks for that, mate. Really appreciate that. Like Cooper and Johansson, he's an absolute gem in that side. Only a matter of time before he gets a big move. Fofana would be class, a serious presence, and would be good. Now, this is would you now that is like swapping a Ferrari for a Fiat 500. You know what I mean? So would they take it? Could we throw in something else? Could we throw in maybe a Sammy Byram? Could we throw in maybe something else and just throw in like 3 or 4 players if you want, and I'll come down. We'll get one of the one leaders in a nice little bus. We'll all go down and we'll pick you here up front. We'll pick him up. We'll even pick him up from Calais. How about that? Do you know what I mean? We don't have to go inland. We don't have to do anything like that. We'll pick him up from Calais. That's what I'm willing to do. 10 million quid and give him Melly, says Lee. I couldn't think of a worse swap deal, but it's the league, isn't it? It's the standard. Would Meslier acclimatise to Ligue 1 a little bit better? I've always thought that there's a reason why Marseille, there's a reason why Montpellier at a point, there's a reason why these clubs look at him, out there and they think, yeah, we'll go for him, or we'll at least declare our interest and inquire about him. Don't forget, Montpellier did inquire about him around about a year to 18 months ago. So, yeah. Great age, but it does feel like that. It feels like it'd be a really, really good addition and a nice little swap deal there. 15 mil and Meslier, they'd hold out for 15 million quid. Yes, I agree, mate. I agree, 100%. So, yeah, guys, as well, what I just want to say as well, make sure you're checking out our sponsor. Listen, massive Leeds fans, Shop Gino. You saw them on the intro there, everybody. They're building this e-commerce site. I'm going to launch my merchandise shop with them very soon, but you can launch your shop, whether or not it's jewelry, whether or not it's clothing, anything for massively reduced rates in comparison to your eBay, your Vinted, your Amazon, and it's ran by a Leeds fan, massive Leeds fan, trying to grow his business. Let's all get on there, register, free membership through One Leeds, affiliate link in the description below, absolutely free, 25 quid worth, and you in for prizes, exclusive bits. We're going to be trying to do it monthly, which I'll bring on the channel. Also, job match group, there are 2 more exclusive jobs on there. I think it's a couple of admin assistants with Hands Global Security, who are a fantastic company. I know some of you struggle for a little bit of work out there. What I'm going to try do for you guys is provide you with these job match groups and introduce maybe fresh jobs on the channel every morning, if I can do that for you. And then it's up to you. I can bring a horse to water, but I can't make it drink. Get on over there, put your CV in. I know a lot of you are struggling out there, and hopefully that'll help a fair few of the One Leadsers. Going France in July, I'll pick him up and drop him off at Leeds for us. Morning, Connor. Hey, Brett. I'm a late joiner, but happy to catch a live with you all. Shout out to you, buddy. He struggled with the pressure at Leeds. Would you rather sell Meslier or keep him as a backup? It sounds like we're into the DDDs, everybody here. Discourse, discussion, debate. Sell him all day long. I disagree with Graham. I think you can get market value. I think you'd be able to get at least 5 million quid for Illan Meslier. I think you would be able to, or include him in some sort of deal like we've just mentioned. If Fofana, I mean, that would be hilarious. But if Fofana comes one way and Meslier goes the other, but something like that can happen. You know, Meslier is still at a good age, and you might be able to put a bit of money on top of it as well. Deals like that have happened in football, so there's potential for that, I guess. But no, we'll not be keeping hold of Illan Meslier, guys. He's gone on record saying he doesn't want to sit on any team's bench. Maybe we'll go and make weight in a swap deal to a French club. They don't have money for 100. Sorry, they don't have cash for big money signings. I agree with you. I'll drive the bus, says Kev. Tom says, be nice if the City case comes out soon. We might only need to beat 2 other teams to survive in the Premier League. Sell. Yeah, a lot of people saying sell all day long and get some of that profit. I don't think next season you're not going to be able to get anything from him for him realistically, because I don't think he's going to be playing at all for Leeds United. I think this is probably where his stock is going to be at its highest, to be honest with you guys. So yeah, right, okay. Well, it's been a bit of a shorter rumor mill. So shout out to all of you guys who've been in the building. I don't want to talk too much, but we will touch just at the end on Nick Pope here, and the fixture dates, of course. But it's not going to be as long as previous, you know. So I just want to bear that in mind with you guys. Okay, so the fixture release date is the 18th of June. The 18th of June, everybody. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Who do you want? Who do you want? I've got a feeling, because it's top, and it feels like every single time Leeds, any time we've been in the Premier League, we've had the first game of the season at least, it feels has always been ridiculous. Although I feel like we played Wolves, didn't we, in one game? Was Wolves the start? You know, when Rasmus got out jumped by Daniel Pedence at the back post. I feel like that was the first game of the season as well. But no, I would be a massive fan of Leeds getting off to a really, really a good start in terms of. I know a lot of Leeds fans will want the historical names that we can go to and we can test ourselves against the biggest teams in the league. Not for me, not for Connor. Give me Sunderland, Burnley, and Wolves in our first 5. If we can get like 7 points on the board, 9 points even. Jesus, imagine that. That would be unbelievable. That'd be a really good start. I do not want Liverpool, City, Arsenal. No. Brentford. No, I'm going through these names now, and I'm like flipping. There's quite a lot of good Premier League teams there. Scum at home. See, Alistair, I wouldn't. And Andrew's saying it. I wouldn't want that. You know, I wouldn't want that. I think there's too much pressure on that game. There's going to be pressure on it anyway, of course, but I don't want to be the main focus of the weekend. I don't. I want to be. I want it to be like a Leeds Wolves. I want it to be like that Elland Road. I want a home game, 100%. But I'd love us to come up against like one of the promoted teams, or, you know, just a team in and around the bottom, West Ham, Wolves, even Everton. It's going to be tough. It's always going to be tough, but we know that in the Premier League. Always champions play each other first time out. I really hope that's not an actual thing, though, mate. That's ridiculous, isn't it? It just puts you at an immediate disadvantage, and it's just for the Sky cameras, isn't it? But he's definitely going to be the Scousers. He's definitely going to be the Scousers. Because what I don't want is for us to get. I'm not saying this would happen, everybody, but what I don't want is for us to get off to a start where it's like really negative, and just us to get drubbed by Liverpool is not. I don't want that. Just let's go in and get a nice, tasty win, even if it's a scrappy win against one of the teams in and around the bottom for me. Champions versus champions. I've seen that. Yeah, I know, mate. I've seen that loads. Velasol says home game would be nice. I agree. Yeah, you get that all the time, don't you? Though you get that all the time when it comes to it. Guys, let's slap a like on the video as well as we're continuing with the rumour mill. We've got 900 of you watching. There's 464 likes. Come on, people. Let's slap a like on that video. Do it for the channel. Do it for 45k. Do it for you lads and lasses being one leaders. And you contributed in a potential name change, which is quite exciting. Nothing too drastic, but it's a big move. It's a big move. So, yeah. Now, the latest on Nick Pope. So we spoke yesterday about maybe there's been a slight issue with Leeds United in terms of being able to acquire Nick Pope and being able to get him through the door and him wanting to come. But I also spoke on the wrap yesterday about potentially Nick Pope not actually being done. Look, we will be at the 1st of July, of which we can make official signings. Behind the scenes work hopefully will be being done, but reports are suggesting this morning from the Newcastle side of things that it's not only Nick Pope now, but apparently he's had conversations with Newcastle, and now Newcastle want Nick Pope to stay. Been a bit of a change of heart, according to Northeast reports this morning. Newcastle apparently now want Pope to stay, which is it's a shame. It is a shame. So I wonder what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to offer him maybe a new contract, but they're going to basically sell him the number 2 jersey, presumably, which he's been sort of going to and fro with Dubravka. So they're going to offer him the number 2. I think James Trafford's going to come in. They're going to see that as a nice little English partnership. And yeah, I thought they would have to sell Nick Pope, but maybe they're looking at other players that are going to be used as sell-on when it comes to, I don't know, Sean Longstaff, like some Willock, etc. Maybe that's what they're going to be looking at. But apparently, according to reports up there this morning, Nick Pope will, for now, be staying at Newcastle, which is a bit annoying, to be honest. But there we go. That's kind of signed, sealed, and delivered, it feels, especially with them coming out so early and reports just suggesting that it's done. All lose to Sunderland, no thanks. Do you think Beerith is too unreal? Yeah, I do, mate. I think you're pretty much going to get... It's going to start getting into it, Nayan, and I think you're probably going to get some of the top clubs in Europe going in for him. His goal record this year is insane. It'd be great for Leeds. And we can test it. We can inquire, can't we? It's what we like to do. Better to know than be hoping all transfer window. Now we move on. Chris says, I take Fofana over Pope any day. 15 million. I think this is the thing as well. When you look at someone like Nick Pope, like 33 years of age, I think he's got 2 good years in him, of which could get him to like 35, and he could be very, very decent. Very, very decent for Leeds United, especially when we're trying to stay up, and he's a big goalkeeper. A lot of Newcastle fans, interestingly, and now this fits my agenda, I can talk about this because he's not coming to Leeds. But they were saying apparently he's not been the same since a left shoulder injury, and apparently you can see when he dives as well, he's a little bit tentative on it, which is interesting, fascinating from a Newcastle standpoint. So, yes, I've sent a quick message to former colleague of mine, Lee Ryder. So we will wait and see what Lee says. Sent him a text this morning. Obviously, editor at the Chronicle. So we'll wait and see, and maybe something will come out a little bit later on. But from his side, from his stance and from the Northeast stance, it feels like Newcastle wanting him to stay as well as Nick Pope now. But I do agree with you guys that when you kind of look at Yahia Fofana, when you look at Finn Darman, when you look at goalkeepers like this, Petrovic, they're all like 23, 27, 24. These are young goalkeepers with big sell-on value and with big projection as well, and potential very, higher upward trajectory, which obviously fits in line with Leeds' ambition and potential. If it doesn't, and Leeds are struggling a little bit, big sell-on value. So that's good stuff. Bricks on the Coast says, what about Burkhart, Connor? Mate, you know where I'm at with him. You know where I'm at with Jonathan Burkhart. I've been a big fan for about 5 years, but I don't think so. I think he's going to be Germany's number 9, mate. You're probably going to get Bayern going in and getting him. Morning, Connor. I've just seen Fofana XG prevented. It's ridiculous. He's a joke, Edward. He's a joke. He's a joke of a goal. There was no comments on him. There was no comments on him. I just thought it was so unrealistic. When I was trying to put goalkeepers together, I was thinking to myself, well, with Finn, there's a massive market opportunity there, I think, especially with, him having dual citizenship when it comes to English and German, him saying that he wants to play in the Premier League, him testing himself as well, and being quoted as saying, you kind of look at David Soria as well at Getafe, coming to the end of his contract, good fee for Leeds, 32 years of age, was in for the Zamora Trophy as well this season, really good performances. got slightly worse at the back end of the season because of Getafe's form. But yeah, so I was trying to put it into context a little bit more, so there's a bit more realism. But Fofana, I didn't think there was anywhere near it. There was Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, even at a point in the last sort of 18 months, 12 to 18 months, looking at him. So I just thought there was no point. There's no point. A lot of people talking about Cooper. And Scott's in here as well, saying you ain't getting Cooper for 15 million quid. We'll have a look, though. We'll have a look. I do like Cooper at Sheffield United. I think he's a good goalkeeper. A little bit of a jittery end. I also thought that Tommy Watson goal, he could have done a lot better for that, which is obviously the decisive goal which sent Sunderland up. He's had sort of 2 really good seasons, hasn't he, at championship level? But I think Leeds have just got to be a bit careful. Just got to be a little bit careful with Cooper, I think. In terms of how much we'd spend. Obviously, he's got a decent contract at Sheffield United. You know, how much would the difference be with what Sheffield United are going to demand for Cooper in comparison to Angers, comparing, asking for a certain price for Yahia Fofana. You've got Nick Pope there, who's going to be probably worth about 8 to 10 million quid. You've got Finn Dharma, who is around about, 15 to 20 million quid. And you've got then Sheffield United asking 15, 20 million quid for Cooper. What are you going to do? For me, I'd be going for these players and not Cooper. I think Cooper would be way down on the list. I like him, massively like him, but yeah, I don't know. It's the money, isn't it? Quick joke, Connor. Quick joke, Connor. What do you call a fantastic Man U supporter? Not a supporter. There we go. That'll rattle a few, mate. Right. Okay, guys, we're going to leave it there. We have been going for around about 43, 44 minutes. Listen, if you want to check out the new kit, I've got it as the title. Look at my thumbnail for this video, and that is the new kit. Now, I don't think that's a kit. I think it's more of a concept kit, and I think a lot of Leeds fans have realised that. If that was the kit, and that's the sort of print from the low fields, oh no, because that is horrendous. From my perspective, guys, it's just opinion based. I think that's a horrendous kit. Really, really poor kit. And if you haven't seen it, you'll be able to just click off this video. Well, obviously, when you're done, you might be able to just minimize, and you'll be able to just have a quick look at. You'll be able to just have a quick look at the thumbnail and all that sort of stuff, and that's the kit. But I think it's more of a concept kit, to be honest with you. So yeah, number 1 Leeds United fan channel, Lee, top man, mate. I always see you in here. Thanks, and guys, I just like to say a massive thank you again to 45,000 subscribers on the second channel. As I say, we've steamed past 5,000. Thank you so much for that. Head on over there if you haven't already, and we'll try hit 5-2, I think it is now. We've got some really cool live shows sorted over there, which are already set for next season, which I think you're really going to enjoy. It's Premier League as well, but it'll include Leeds United, of course, on that channel. But yeah, make sure you check that out. Let's have a quick look. Senior Furpo says, hi, Con. I'm a media student and I've just finished my last year at college. Do you have any tips for getting into the sports side of media? I know you've done things of that sort in the past. Yeah, mate, just I won't talk to you on here about it. Just get into my Instagram DMs, mate, and we can have a chat. All right. All right, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's everything we've spoken about today. I will put the timestamps in. You will be able to catch this audio-wise as well on Spotify and Apple. If you guys are, taking the old dog out for the walk, or yeah, I meant the animal, guys. Come on, be clean. But yes, taking the dog out for a walk, or it's your lunch break, yada yada yada. My name's been Conor McGilligan. This has been One Lead. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you.